So welcome to my kitchen. I'm back in my in-law little hideaway. Today we'll be learning how to use air fryer in a speed of light. Today, I'm going to show you how to make 4 very quick dishes using the latest and the greatest equipment, air fryer. So how many of you have air fryer at home?
I do.
Okay. How much research have you done before purchasing air fryer?
It was a gift.
Anybody? Yeah. Okay.
It was a gift.
I didn't do too much
Okay.
either. I just needed something small for my apartments, and I got like a mini one, which works great.
Okay, perfect. So I okay, anybody else?
I did the same thing. I just went for what was cheapest.
And okay. To be honest, I'm very skeptical. Not skeptical, but I'm really trying very hard to avoid buying the next gadget. If you would go to my kitchen, I have a rice cooker, I have a pressure cooker, I have a slow cooker, I have a regular whatever, I have, name it, I have it. So at this point, I'm running out of space. It's like I'm not buying anything else, right? But a friend of mine bought actually this one bought air fryer, since lately became very popular and was the it for the past I think 2 years or so. So we borrow from her. I'm like, okay, let me just use it. My daughter wanted to try cauliflower, buffalo cauliflower, and a few other things. So we borrowed from her, and actually I said, man, this is so great. I love it because you can make so many quick dishes. And so we didn't do a lot of research. I told my husband, okay, just get me a bigger version, whatever she had. So he got this one, and I think it was very reasonably priced, and we got it. And to tell you the truth, I think we use it 5 times a week. Actually, the class should be given by my husband because he mastered the air fryer. He does everything at air fryer, steaks and chicken fingers, all kinds of stuff, and vegetables. And so he is the expert. I sort of do a few things. So I will share what I have learned, how to use air fryer and what dishes I like to make. So anyhow, what the heck is an air fryer? It's a very catchy marketing name to just the word fryer, right? Indicates, oh my gosh, I'm gonna eat decadent food because it's fried, and on top of it, they tell you that it's very low in calories. So it's like two things merging into one thing, and we really want something that is fried, tastes like fry, and does not have the negative ramification of eating deep fried foods. Well, it's a little bit deceiving because it's nothing to do with frying. It's basically a portable oven, convection oven. It's not much different. If I use this oven versus this, it's the same. The only good thing, it's small, it's portable. You can go places and take it with you, plug it in. Very easy to clean because often there are different solutions, different designs. One is more like a little oven. This one has a little drawer that you take it out and you put it in. So it's not overwhelming in terms of energy use, I think, because by the time I heat up my oven, it heats the whole room. And if in the summer, it's like, it's fast and quick. So basically consider that a small version of your portable oven. It just circulates the air. The heat comes from the top and circulates the air. There's a fan, and it cooks the food in a higher temperature in a shorter period of time. That's it. That's an air fryer for you. And again, there are many different, buttons that you can press, and you can do a lot of stuff with this. I'm gonna put it back because I need to, it does need electricity. So I'm going to plug it in and we're going to use it in a second. So today I want to make for you four dishes. Actually, I was looking at different recipes and I had, I think, 10 different recipes that I'm like, should I make this? Should I make this? I could not decide it. So, but I went sort of with more basic stuff. So we're going to make a chicken caprese. There is a recipe I sent, all of you should get a file with the recipe. So it's a basically roasted chicken breast topped with fresh mozzarella and tomatoes, and you can drizzle a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So that is what we're going to make it first. Second, I would love to make Brussels sprouts. I know it's a season and some of you may not like it, Brussels sprouts. Some of you may love Brussels sprouts. So I chose a recipe that actually a few months ago, I was in Vermont in a Simon Pierce restaurant, and they served the roasted Brussels sprouts with some kind of vinaigrette and peanuts. So I got the idea and I recreated the recipe. So that's what I'm going to make for you, and hopefully you can make at home as well. And however, I sent you also other types of recipe for Brussels sprouts if you're not a big fan of those flavors such as smoked paprika and peanuts, but you can make many other different ways. So we're going to make that, and we're going to make also salmon, roasted salmon, and I'm going to make a simple sort of dry rub, and also will show you how to make my favorite glaze, Harissa maple syrup glaze, which I use it the most, I think, frequently. So you can go with one or the other, but I'm gonna make it two. And we're going to roast asparagus as well with it. So that's sort of so far that we have the three dishes. And for dessert, we're going to make a gingerbread brownies. And I don't know even if brownies could be gingerbread, but I love the flavors of gingerbread. It's sort of holidays are coming. I love the cinnamon, cumin, not cumin, cloves and nutmeg. So I decided we can make that, and we will be using as a base of the cake or the brownies. We're going to use chickpeas. I saw a recipe at another cooking class, but it was for basic brownies, so I modified a little bit with the ginger flavor. And guess what? I will attempt to make it in the air fryer. So this is sort of the plan for today. Any questions so far? No questions? So shall we start? All right. I think since the baking of the cake might take a while, let's start from that. So I am going to use, for my gingerbread brownies, actually, can someone tell me what is the difference between brownies and blondies? Nobody knows?
Doesn't blondies have butterscotch chips instead of chocolate?
Ah, okay. All right. So to be honest, I have not made the cake. I have to reveal that right now. So Today is the first time that we are testing that. If it doesn't work, you will know, but it's for other people, it works. So we're going to use chickpeas. Chickpeas is very mild bean, so it doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it's a great sort of gluten-free option. So I have a can of chickpeas that I just rinse under the water. We're going to add for our chocolatey flavor, cocoa powder, right? Just the unsweetened cocoa powder. We're going to use eggs, 2 eggs, regular eggs, nothing fancy about that. And for sweetener, the original recipe called for sugar, but I decided to substitute sugar with monk sweetener. I don't know, any of you had ever used this sweetener? No, it's I'm a very sensitive to any aftertaste flavors of many other sweeteners. Like stevia doesn't sit well with me for some reason, and it leaves like a bitter aftertaste. So this sweetener is derived from a fruit, monk fruit, and it's not a sugar, but we perceive as something very, very sweet, and it's definitely can be used in the you can sweeten your tea, you can sweeten anything in place of the sugar. So 1 to 1. So I have here the monk sweetener, 3 tablespoons of mild, I use avocado oil, and also the spices, right? This is what give the gingerbread. So we have cinnamon, we have cloves, we have nutmeg, ginger, powder, a pinch of salt, because salt always brings the flavor sort of out, in baking powder. So this will be our cake. We will put a chocolate chip. So the way to sort of, so let's first blend that. So I have my 25 years old KitchenAid. So I'm just going to, everybody sees this. I should bring it here, and then, you know what, let's see, maybe we'll see if this is reachable. No, too short. So I'm going to use my beans, add my sweetener. So basically we're dumping everything. Cocoa powder, it's a lot of cocoa powder. Do you know of any benefits of cocoa powder? Health benefits? No?
I don't know any.
It's actually cocoa in general, it's a good source of magnesium. That's why you know, in chocolate, they say often to justify eating chocolate, you get the magnesium for it. But also there's a lot of phytochemicals. So I forgot what's the theina, and I think and other flavonoids that are beneficial to us. So I'm going to crack the egg. All right, perfect. Let me. So just like you would justify using chocolate, we're going to justify using cocoa powder. It's unsweetened. Lately, I have been, and I'm going to dump our spices just to make it things way much easier. All right, so I'm going to put it here. Close your ears. I'm pressing on. All right, it's getting pureed. Let me scrape it just in case. You know what's interesting for that type of cake? If it doesn't rise, that's okay, because a brownie should be chewy, right? A little bit more dense in texture. What do they say? How long to process it? Till it's done. 1 minute. I think that's been 1 minute. I just don't want a chickpea surprise when I eat my brownies, right? We want to be pretty smooth. All right, you know what? It is, looks pretty blended or smooth. So again, nothing, it's just a sort of a paste, right? So what can you do? How we would bake in an air fryer? I'm just going to try it. Another option, you can just put a little pan and dump it here, bake in the oven. So that's a one option. Second option, so if you would use your air fryer, which is again people use for baking all kinds of stuff, often you would use silicone inserts. So you can buy appropriate one for the air fryer, or I think you can buy for like muffins sometimes, so you can get those. I am going to use ramekin. Fortunately, I had 4 of them. So the only thing, actually, it's a funny thing. So I was really running today, trying to get things together. So I figured, oh, maybe I will just bake it in the oven. So I spray with olive oil that I had in a like a bottle, right? And it says olive oil. Then I'm smelling, and I put accidentally truffle flavored olive oil. So I think it would not be so tasty having gingerbread brownies mixed with truffles. So I abandoned an idea. And actually, I'm going to use the smaller one because we might want, let's see. The smaller one is only 3, but what do you think? Should we bake in the, I want to try it. I really want to try it. Okay, so we're gonna bake 3 in the smaller ones. All right, so for the air frying instructions, you go and you preheat your air fryer to 350, which we're going to do. And you don't have to spray. Normally, there's basically a basket with holes. And if you would fry anything, you would spray that so it would prevent from sticking. But in this case, bake. So I am just pre-warming. All right, so let's use our ramekins. And I will spray them with avocado oil, not how many of you, or how often do you use air fryer?
I use mine about like once or twice a week, probably.
Mm-hmm. What are you making in it?
Most recently, I took your tip and I roasted garlic in the air fryer. And it worked really well. And then before that, I actually just did a chicken breast that I was going to shred.
Mm-hmm.
For the enchiladas, I just did that in the air fryer and it worked really well.
It did? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first brownie, but I think I would I would do it in the oven, I think. I just wanted to try it, right? It's always good to experiment. And probably good advice would be to measure or be uniform how much stuff you put inside, because if it's uneven, it's going to be baking in a different temperature. Just worried that my ramekins, okay. Here it is, our 3 little testers. And guess what? Let's put a few chocolate chip. Guys, if this is a disaster, you can blame me for it. Okay. Yep. Beautiful. 5 chocolate chips. I use the dark ones. Okay. And I think the rest of it, I'm going to use my, there's even, I removed that spray thing and put another one. So it's probably not going to be a whole lot. It's not going to be so thick, right? All right. By the way, did any of you try to make any of the recipes for Thanksgiving that we were perfecting at the last cooking class? No? I did make a big thing of the roasted vegetables. I told you, like, we go to Vermont and we have 20 people all together. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Not much spreading. So I had to make literally 3 vats of the roasted vegetables, and all was eaten and enjoyed immensely. And I did make the green bean dish as well. All right, so this is washing. So I'm going to put sprinkle some chocolate. All right, we need to time the whole thing. There is a reason why I am not a good dessert maker. I'm just not, you have to be very precise with baking. So this we're gonna do 10 minutes and this we're going to do 20 minutes. So let's do 10 minutes first. All right. I'm going to put them in. One, two, three. I think it's going to bake. There's a teacher called Cake. So this is done. Let's get to more fun stuff like vegetables and other things. All right, so I forgot to add molasses. Oh, now it's beeping. That is not working. All right, so I think it's heating. All right, so I think that the second, let's make the roasted Brussels sprouts. Again, how many of you are in love with Brussels sprouts?
I
I
love
like them.
Yes.
Okay. I think there are two camps of people. Either you love them or hate them. I'm definitely in the love camp. They could be a little bit bitter or perceived by some people as a little bit bitter. So you can blanch them if you are really sort of not so sure about it. You can blanch them, meaning putting in a hot water very quickly, and they will sort of remove the flavor. It's a sulfur compound in it that will be slightly removed, goes with water, and you can proceed with roasting. But I just they were pretty large. I cut them in quarters and put and rinse them. And I'm going to use some spray. So you can use a little bit of olive oil to roast them, or the spray. And let me. The spray for any kind of roasting, high temperature, try to use high sort of smoke oil. So typically would be all avocado oil would be best. Doesn't have a lot of flavor and it doesn't burn in a higher temperature when you roast something. So I got those bottles and I refill them with just a regular, I buy a Trader Joe's bottle of avocado oil, and they're great. So they're good for literally you spray them like your deodorant on them and they are ready to go. I would put a little bit of salt, pinch of salt, pepper maybe. All right, so that's it. That's how you would sort of, and you roast them. If you roast any vegetables, which you should, because this is the easiest, the fastest way to do your veggies, air fryer is the way to go. So you can roast, I roast green beans all the time, fresh or frozen. Fresh are better. I like it fresh because I like it crunchy. Typically, the temperature is 400 degrees, 10 minutes. Sometimes it depends if the vegetables is very delicate, like asparagus, you can lower to 5 or 6 minutes. But Brussels sprouts, 10 minutes, and they will turn out great. When you roast vegetables, you should be stopping halfway through and basically shake them so they will not burn, because even though the air is circulating, it's not, you still have sort of uneven cooking side. So I have my Brussels sprouts perfect, and here's my air fryer. So I'm just going to dump it. Again, not much to it. A Brussels sprouts in a basket, right? So I will hike it up the temperature. I like 400, and the time 10 minutes and start. All right. So this is roasting. Let's make dressing for it. So again, a lot of people use Brussels sprouts with bacon, which is also not a bad idea, because you can, if you saute one slice of bacon and crumble on it, and maybe a little bit of balsamic reduction, delicious. So I give you Brussels sprouts with bacon and balsamic. This is one recipe as a second one, but today I'm going to make more complex, because why not? So the more complex is, I make the dressing for many other things. So it's a shallot. I chopped one shallot. And as you know, shallot is just a baby onion. It's not a baby onion, it's a type of onion, but it's a mild and quite sort of fruity and flavorful out of the whole family of onions, right? So shallots are often used in sauces or dressing. So I have a big shallot. I also chopped some garlic, and I'm going to use sherry vinegar. You could also use red wine vinegar, so some mild vinegar for this particular dressing. So sherry vinegar, here it is. And I need my, oh, guys, the brownie starts smelling good. Smells like ginger, smells like Christmas. I'm so excited. All right, so we going to, I have 1 clove of garlic. It was a ginormous clove of garlic. And the shallots. So what you can do, you can put it in a bowl like this. But often, you know what I do? I love my jars. So I am going to dump this in a jar gracefully, not really. And let me use the spoons. Here's my garlic and the secret ingredients. Please do not share with anybody else. What is my secret ingredients? My secret ingredients is smoked paprika. I put that on that almost anything except ice cream. I skip ice cream, but this is so good on anything. I put into beans, I put into the soups, I put into my dressings, I put in my meats, on my fish. Really, really good. Trader Joe's, any market will have it. So we need a 3/4, I'm gonna do a spoon of smoked paprika and a sherry vinegar. 1.5. I'm never that precise with my salad dressings proportions. And then you go with olive oil. Okay, so I put 2 tablespoons. Salt, pepper, and this is your dressing. I often make it and even keep it in the refrigerator. I will make a double the batch and keep it in refrigerator. And it gets sort of even more flavorful because the shallots and garlic will sort of mingle together. Delicious. And if I want to roast my Brussels sprouts, anything else, I just sort of open refrigerator, dump other stuff. And for peanuts, so just peanuts, right? Nothing, not much to it. If you're allergic to peanuts or if you don't like it, you can substitute for other nuts. Definitely, peanuts just, and I learned it also from another cooking class, another chef, to instead of going and chopping your nuts, what you can use your jar. Use your muscles too, right? We all work out. And we need to, oh, look at this. Stop, 10 minutes. Let me look at the ginger. All right, so this is your sort of chopped nuts. You can see all the things. So I'm just sort of, it's still not cooked. All right, let it cook more. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is, and this looks more like a souffle. Hold on, it needs to cool, so I will show you shortly. Should probably use toothpick, make sure that it's nothing is running out of them, right? Inside. If I only knew where my mother-in-law keeps her toothpicks, that would be a winner. Not in this drawer. Not in this drawer. Well, we just have to see. So instead of toothpick, we're going to stick a knife in it. All right, so it's cooked, but I think could be a little longer. Oh, but in the oven, that's the way to go. Okay, we're going to keep for another 8 minutes there, no? Perfect. All right, so going back to our delicious roasted Brussels sprouts with smoked paprika sherry vinaigrette. Sounds so sophisticated, right? Actually, and it's not that hard. So we have our nuts here. So again, if you use it, you can mix it with the dressing. I usually keep it separately, and I just sprinkle when it's sort of I serve the Brussels sprouts. So this is done. I am going to put it here. So far, what do you think? Would you consider making that recipe?
I think it would be fun to try.
All right. Cleaning up, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The best part of the cooking class is the cleaning after, right? All right, so we have, and my narcissus smells so wonderful here. All right, so that's done. Let me peek. Oh, it's getting nice, shaky, shaky, shaky. And it's almost done. So that would be one recipe. We'll wait a few minutes, but let's talk about, in the handouts, I sent you a few simple dishes that you can make in air fryer. So a lot of people have difficulties getting vegetables. At least that's what I hear often, right? Oh, I just don't have the time, I didn't buy it or something. You can buy bag of frozen veggies and pop it in the air fryer, and you can make it in, so here in the second, any bag of frozen vegetables, cook 400 degrees for 10 minutes. That's it. If you want to sort of char, you can stick it for a little bit longer, but this is a simple things. Also roasted broccoli for frozen, 310 minutes. So it's just basically they will warm up. So instead of steaming them, you can cook them in the air fryer. If you want a little bit more crisp and oomph, spray them with oil and pop it in 400 degrees for extra few minutes, and you will get that sort of more char edges. I often cook broccoli in the basket, but in the fresh. I cut them fresh, spray with oil, or put a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, and roast them 410 minutes again. They're perfectly fine. Again, shake in between. Sweet potatoes, amazing, right? It just takes a little longer, takes 30 to 40 minutes if you roast them whole, but pierce them, pop it in, and you just, and dinner is ready in no time. Often you can do it together with other stuff. So if you have a piece of, I don't know, salmon takes 10 minutes, but the potatoes would take longer. So it depends how many dishes you're doing and for how many people. Asparagus, again, very sort of 6 to 8 minutes, very quickly. Today we're going to make asparagus. together with salmon. Asparagus is more delicate, so you don't want a lumpy asparagus. You just want a crispy with a little crunch. So here you have also buffalo cauliflower bites, very popular. You can make those. Zucchini pizza bites, so you can cut zucchini if you feel like a little appetizers when you're hungry. You cut zucchini in a bigger pieces. I'm taking my brownie, I'm sorry. I don't want the brownie to be a cracker. Oh my God, check this out. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Now, see, I'm not a dessert person, but I do get excited about that. Okay. So here you can start seeing it's sort of getting, depends how well done you want. So, but the leaves that are sort of were loose, they're getting brown faster. I don't know how many minutes is, oh, done. All right, so we're going to so again, this is a lot of dressing, but you know, each time when I go to a restaurant and I do often order a Brussels sprouts, and it's like, you know, for appetizer, 12 bucks easily. And then I'm like, damn it, you know, make it at home. It's much cheaper and easier. Oh my gosh, seriously, I wish you could smell that. The smoked paprika and the hint of sort of vinegar, but it's a sweeter, it's absolutely divine. So now we're going to sprinkle a little nuts. And voila, you have your Brussels sprout ready. For the picture, I'll put in a nicer bowl, but it's done. Oh, smells so good too. Really smell good. So what else we were talking you can make in an air fryer? So the zucchini bites, you cut the zucchini in sort of slices, if it's a larger zucchini, and you can top it with tomato sauce, and you can put a little mozzarella, pop it in, you know, for 3 minutes or 400, 8 minutes, and then add the cheese. So you first cook the zucchini, add the tomatoes and the cheese, and you pop it for a few minutes and it's ready. So it's like a little mini pizza, you know, again, simple, takes probably prepare 5 minutes altogether and making another 5 minutes. So 10 minutes, 12 minutes, the whole preparation. I also give you pork tenderloin, which I have made several times. And if you do eat pork, this was amazing recipe. Very simple. You marinate in a Ziploc bag, and then you just literally put in the basket. When you put pork tenderloin, tuck in the end of the loin when it's less thicker, so the skinnier part. And also to prevent from sort of making a ginormous mess, use your parchment paper. So often, I had a parchment paper, often it comes with pre-cut parchment paper. So you put it on the bottom to prevent basically the whole mess. So look at this recipe. If you want to follow someone, I found a lady, and this is basically all her recipes. So I have not invented that. I just sort of follow. Look at Frugally Frugal. I think she has 8 children, and she basically right now specializing in making air fry recipes, and she tested different ones. But she has several really, really good vegetables recipes, sort of meat recipes. She made ones even taco in air fryer. So if you are curious and you want to more, go to her. I gave you the link, so it would be a very sort of quick and easy resource that you can use. All right, perfect. We are done. How are we doing on time? We're not done. We are done with 2 dishes,
You still
ladies
have
and gentlemen.
10 minutes. It's 7:20.
What?
Well, it's 7:20. We can go longer if people want to stay. But
All right. Okay. Salmon. I have to make you my salmon. There's no way you can live without my salmon. Okay, so Rico came. Hi, baby. My dog. For those who do not know Rico, he is my sweetheart. Right, Rico? You want to go and do other stuff? Okay. And it would be very nice if I found my. So when you buy it, it comes with this. You can buy extra, but it's basically perforated or the parchment paper with a hole. So nothing special, but so I have my salmon cut in pieces. The salmon that I'm going to make is with a basic rub. So I'm going to have, this is a brown sugar with a little bit of chili powder, paprika. You can use smoked, you can use basic one, Italian seasonings, garlic powder, and this is pretty much what it is. I would go and season my steaks. I'm going to put this because again, I don't want to have a big mess. So this is basically doing a rub like this. Nothing to it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So would you use the ingredients as a rub on the salmon as well as putting a glaze on top of it?
No, one or the other.
Okay.
There's not a need of doing both. So if you want dry rub, the dry rub you can use on chicken, you can use on pork chops, you can use on salmon. Again, very basics, nothing too strong of a flavor. So I'm going to put this again in my, you don't want to over sort of crowded. But for glaze, again, you can, I gave you, I think, two different glaze. So for the glaze, and this is my favorite, again, this is quite complex. So if you feel like getting it, do it. So Harissa paste, it's a spicy paste. So you need, and let me see. So on the back, you need 2 tablespoons of, actually 2 tablespoons of Harissa. So it's quite a bit. Again, spicy, but this amount will serve you like 2 pounds of the glaze, quite a bit. So this is a more in maple syrup. So it's the combination of sweetness and spiciness, savory flavor. So Vermont, actually New York, I bought that. And so we have the harissa, which is a chili paste. Then I have the maple syrup, so it's the sweetness. Cumin. So it's a sort of Mediterranean flavor. And we're going to put 2 teaspoons of cumin, so generous amount. You can modify. This is the beauty about cooking is nothing is written in stone. And I have a garlic, and for those who attended my previous class, I'm just using it, you can. And another is the smoked paprika that I add to it. So I would make a smaller Tupperware of this glaze, and this could be used for, you know, quite a, like 2 weeks or so. So definitely, I eat salmon often. I just like it, and especially when I discovered that it takes 10 minutes in air fryer. So you just buy the salmon, literally slap this on 10 minutes, lunch is ready. I mean, I can cook my salmon with a salad in 10 to 15 minutes. And since I eat fast, which I shouldn't, you know, half an hour, start to finish, it's done. Okay, so this is, and I add some lemon zest to it, which was before. So I'm not, you know that. And what I am going to do, so again, if you use a different, don't contaminate your stuff, right? Don't, what I should be doing, it's season also my, thank God you're not gonna eat that, right? Because you would say Joanna did not wash her hands and did not use the things, but I'm going to eat that for dinner. So I salted the first one, the other one wasn't salted. All right, so here, what you want to do instead of brushing, I would not touch, so just blab, 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 that's it. And with your brush, and I have the silicone brush, I just brush it over and bake it 10 minutes, done. And it's so good, oh my God, I love it. Another glaze that I often do, and my daughter likes it, is honey mustard. Even simpler, because you have honey or maple syrup and whole grain mustard. You can put some smoked paprika to it. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? Distraction, now I have to sprinkle on it. Don't forget, because for later I will forget. And you don't want to waste that deliciousness. Okay, perfect. So that's done. And you don't want this to be too close to each other. No kissing, no hugging. Spread like this. I don't know if you can see it. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's get cooking. All right, 10 minutes, 400. Start. And we're going to do start. And the interesting part is the asparagus. So you got your asparagus, right? You know that you need to clean it and snap your ends. You do not want to have on your death certificate die from choking on stringy asparagus, right? This is something keep in mind. So always snap your asparagus, and sometimes it's just so, you know, depends where they grow, but you could sometimes like snap it here. So sort of snap it and it's ready. You wash it and it's ready. So here I would basically, and if you want to make it pretty, you cut the ends. So my asparagus, I'm going to put a little deodorant of avocado oil and we'll be ready. So let's set our timer 5 minutes again. And timer 5 minutes start, and we add the asparagus sort of on the side. So it depends how crowded it is. You can use it with the salmon. You can use it with any meat that you cook. Sort of at the end, you can put it in. Or if you cook a chicken breast, You take it out sort of and will rest, and then you pop it in your veggies. Again, however you want to. So we're going to wait 5 minutes, and we're going to add the asparagus. I'm telling you, the air fryer is the best way to cook salmon. I mean, you can grill it, but it's also gets a nice smoky flavor. All right, let's make the chicken. A few more minutes, and we'll be done. So, chicken caprese. We have a chicken breast. I did not got 4 chicken breasts, even the recipe is, but I got 1 and cut in half. 1 chicken breast was 8 ounces. Ginormous. I don't know. I don't want to even think about it. So I cut it in smaller pieces just for demonstration. But if you have a big chicken breast, try to flatten a little bit the thick part, because it will cook uneven. The end will burn and the thick part will not. So this is the chicken, and again, I am going to season the chicken. And the season I could use this rub right here. A little salt, a little pepper, and again, Italian seasonings, paprika, little garlic. You can make the rub, or you can just sprinkle stuff on top of it. The paprika gives a nice, nice color, nice sort of, color when the chicken doesn't look pale. It just has a little redness, a little, what do you call it? Redness, I guess. All right, so we have that. Where's my Italian seasonings? They were somewhere. I guess I don't see it. Maybe I use somewhere else. All right, so I'm here, getting old and not poor vision. And also, you want to spray your little bit your chicken, because it will sort of it's dry, so you need a little bit more. I'm gonna use this seasonings, which is basically the same. All right, so the seasonings or the topping for this, you can keep it very simple. So Italian would be Italian seasonings and garlic, and that could be it. Or you can go for other stuff. Since we're making Italian with the mozzarella, here it is, a little on the nice reddish color. So I'm going to cook that in 380 degrees. So if you don't use a paper, spray the bottom. It will prevent from sticking. All right, so this is cooking 380. So you want to flip after few minutes. Okay, we have almost. Oh, guys, this looks fantastic. So it's hard to see, but this was a small pieces. Usually I put a bigger stuff. I use a bigger, a little bit bigger pieces. So this smaller will cook, but it sort of gets nice and almost a char at very, very top, but the the inside is still quite sort of moist. I don't like my fish to be cooked very, very hard. And we're going to stick. There's not a lot of space for that. I'm not going to use all of them, but let's see. Five more minutes and it should be done. Done. Okay, start. All right. So we almost did all of our dishes. We are waiting for our chicken breast to cook. We flip it, and then we put a fresh mozzarella with a slice of tomato on top of it. We dress with fresh basil if you have it. I still have it in a pot. Remember, fresh herbs always enhance the flavor. If you want a good salad, throw some basil or maybe cilantro if you like it. It really is delicious. And then we'll finish the dish with a balsamic reduction. This is a really good balsamic. When we were in Italy, we stopped at the place where they made balsamic vinegar, and seems like this is a very long process because it takes years, and it sort of evaporates and changes the water evaporates in some ways, or the juice, the moisture, and it's getting concentrated over time, so you get very almost syrupy natural balsamic, so very this is expensive good stuff. As you can see, I don't use much. We didn't buy the top of the shell. We bought pretty good, but you just use a little drizzle over something to finish the meal. So this is good stuff. But if you don't feel like going for a really good stuff, go to Trader Joe's, get balsamic vinegar reduction, and it's basically a syrup made with balsamic vinegar and sugar, and a little drizzle also will do the job perfectly fine. Or you can cook your own balsamic vinegar and reduce it, and it will get syrupy as well. So whatever you want, whatever you prefer.
It all looks great. I'm just wondering on the brownie, you use that monkfish sweetener. I tried that. I could not tolerate it. So really? Oh, I thought it was awful.
Why? It doesn't have any aftertaste.
No, I didn't like it. Is it that Locanto or whatever it is, right? Is that it?
It's the yeah.
Yeah, I tried that and I found it. I think it's a personal taste bud thing,
It must be. Like, I cannot do stevia. It just gives me such a aftertaste.
I think everyone has different. Yeah, so you could really use anything that wouldn't throw it off, right? That would be okay to do it with, like.
Yeah, I mean, look, even if you use a little bit of molassa or a little bit of, it gives a little bit more. I'm going to just actually cut it and see how it's. It was. I just found it so interesting. With I cooked before. I cooked before with the garbanzo beans.
No, it
So
sounds
it was
great instead of flour. Yeah, sounds great.
instead of flour. So if anybody has, and eat like with brownies are very forgiving. Okay, I should have sprayed it better. Okay, so I will give you my honest opinion. Okay, this is ready.
Really dry? Is it really dry? It looks dry.
It's not as chewy. Yeah, I agree. It's not. I think could be better. Probably cook less and make it more It's a more like a chocolate to it. Would make it an aftertaste. It does not have big aftertaste for me. But you know what, like the cloves, you can, some people are, it's a almost very like quite pronounced. You can taste it. I think more cinnamon I would use than less cloves. Do you know that cloves are antiseptic? So it's almost numb your mouth when you eat it. And it used to be used for like people have toothache. The clove oil would put it in and would numb it and sort of block the pain. So now you know, you can use your cloves for numbing, but anyhow, so this is interesting. All right, so the chicken is looking fantastic. And I would check a temperature inside of that. It was a thinner slice. It should be 165. Well, not cooked. 1/4. Okay, so this is almost cooked. This is cooked. So I'm gonna add my tomatoes, and I need to cut the add mozzarella and cut the tomatoes. All right, now clean up. Oh my goodness. Where are the elves that clean the kitchen? Roberta, do you have a few elves that clean your kitchen?
No, I do not.
I need those. I need them. Okay, let's make it a little bigger slice. All right, where is the?
Only problem is tomatoes this time of year are,
Yeah, I agree. You know what? But my husband did a chicken parm in it. It was great. Hold on, time. Just one like few minutes. So he did a chicken parm. So basically, coat the chicken breast coated with egg and just panko and whatever, or breadcrumbs. Bake it in the air fryer and then put in the oven in a Pyrovex. Put sauce, tomato sauce, and put mozzarella on top of it, just in the oven to melt the cheese. So good, really, really good. And it's, you know, fairly low calories. There's not, because it's, you can fry it. It doesn't absorb all the oil. So it was very good. All right, I think okay, maybe shall we wait till our mozzarella is done? I should plate our delicious it's not a big plating, but you can see like it's done, but it's not so done that it's very I will have to take nicer pictures, but this is my dinner. Probably 2 pieces of salmon today. Oh, the tomatoes, you're right. All right, I will upload the pictures into Facebook. But Ms. Roberta, was fabulous to see you, and Nicole, also thank you for attending the cooking class.
Thank you.
And have a absolutely wonderful holidays, and we'll have another cooking class in January, but focusing more on soups and other stuff.